The stone wall door was about to close. The two people inside couldn't get out at all. The people outside just watched. It was Thomas who rushed over. Unexpectedly, Min-ho inside said,
Just kill yourself.
that behind the stone wall was a huge maze with man-eating monsters. No one had ever survived a night here. Even worse, Mick was injured by a monster and was now on the verge of death. Min-ho wanted to abandon Mick and escape alone, but Thomas decided to stay and take care of Mick. Soon they heard the monsters roar. Thomas had a flash of inspiration and hung Mick on the ivy of the high wall before he could tie him securely. The monster appeared. Min-ho immediately abandoned them and ran away alone. Thomas hid under the ivy and barely escaped the monster's pursuit. After the monster left, Thomas immediately tied Mick to the ivy. Suddenly, Thomas stepped on something. Looking carefully, it was actually the monster's saliva. At this moment, the monster had already climbed behind Thomas. Thomas took off running. The monster chased fiercely behind him. Thomas climbed onto a high platform. The monster also chased up. Thomas jumped between the high platforms. The monster also pursued relentlessly. Fortunately, Min-ho also appeared. The two of them avoided the monster's pursuit, but Thomas deliberately fell behind, letting the monster see him again. Then he ran toward the high wall that was about to close. Sure enough, the monster was crushed. The next morning, the maze gate opened. Everyone saw Min-ho and Thomas and was shocked. In 3 years, they were the only ones locked in the maze overnight who could come out alive. However, what greeted Thomas was not everyone's cheers, but punishment, because he had violated the rules here. But Min-ho had a different opinion. He believed that not only should Thomas not be punished, Thomas should also become a walker. Suddenly they heard some commotion. It was the monthly supply delivery, but this time they sent a woman who also had a note in her hand. It said that no more people would be sent. Thomas and Min-ho entered the maze again. They found the beast that Thomas had killed. From the beast's body, they took out a piece of equipment that read Earth Disaster Death Zone Laboratory. Back at the camp, Chuck told Thomas that their supplies also had these words. This meant that these monsters were created by the people who sent them here. In 3 years, this was the only clue they had discovered. Min-ho brought Thomas to his room. It turned out there was a terrain map of the maze here that Min-ho had built bit by bit by running the maze over these 3 years. He told Thomas that this map showed the maze had no exit at all, but Thomas picked up the device found from the monster's body. This might be the exit.